It has been 4 months since we've done a monthly reset. Kind of makes it a little less monthly whenever the last one we did was April. And I feel that I am finally settling down. The dust is settling after a crazy 4 months. And I need direction back in my life. And this organization is a way that helps give me that. I have not thought about my 2024 goals in the longest time. Also, to be completely fair, I've had like arguably one of the more life-changing things that can happen since April, in that got engaged, planning a wedding, which is something that I was not necessarily expecting exactly this year. So I feel like we kind of need to revamp the 2024 goals. We need to reflect a little bit on how the past months have gone, and then also need to actually create some like action items heading forward so I can have some direction and some drive and some strive back about me. All of that to be said, no hate to myself in the past 4 months because things have been chaotic in the best ways that you know, like vacation, moving, wedding planning, things have been chaotic. And also I need to do things that like make me feel like myself again, and organizing my brain is definitely a big one of those things. So to start, things that have gone well in the past 4 months, April, May, June, July, I'm having so many like once in a lifetime type things happen. And so it feels really exciting even though things are chaotic. Like life feels so exciting right now, which is something that's great. There have been habits that I've been able to maintain throughout the chaos. Like I've really been getting back in the gym, back lifting in the ways that I had been wanting to for months without fully enacting it. I feel like I've actually been like making a change in the past few months, so that's been good to see, but we'll talk more about that later. I just feel like I'm like in the middle of a transformation. I'm in a metamorphosis. I'm in my little cocoon and I'm gonna come out a butterfly. There's a gnat that's been like flying around my face as I've been saying that. It's just a joke, buddy. I'm not a bug like you. So overall, like things that have gone well, it's just that it's a very exciting time of life. I am happy. I am thrilled. I wouldn't change anything for the world right now. That being said, some things that are not going so well is the fact that a chaotic life also can make me feel chaotic. So I need to hold on to the stability and the structure that I can in this time. And I don't know if I've necessarily been doing that. And then also I feel like I'm just like not quite to the point where I feel like I'm put together and ready to go from our new home that we're in. Like I love our new apartment, and as you'll see or have seen in the getting my life together vlog, like I'm really working, putting so much effort in and like getting everything moved in, unpacked, so we can just like be good to go in here. But that's just also a lot of work, so it's not happening immediately, obviously, and that does make my brain feel a little less stable. I would like for the home part to just be like finished. Okay, let's check out. I'm gonna scoot over so we can put my 2024 goals up here. Some of you have probably never seen these before because it's been a while since we have been looking at them. And also please remember that I made these 2024 goals when I thought 2024 was gonna be this like quiet year where not much happened. Some priorities have shifted. Some things going on this year are not at all addressed in these goals because I didn't know. For example, personal goals. Number 1, begin relearning Spanish. Unfortunately, I cannot say that that is a priority of my brain and my time right now. I did go to Spain, as you know, so that was something that in the months leading up to that I was motivated because I was like, I need to be able to hold my own. I want to be able to communicate. I was not at all perfect in Spain, and it also is a bummer because when I have previously been in Spain, I have been a lot more proficient than I was this time, which just makes it feel kind of weird. But that being said, since I don't have that like immediate motivation sitting in front of me right now, this one definitely is kind of headed to the back burner. No action items coming up on that. I'll still do Duolingo whenever I think of it, but I made this goal with the intent of like finding adult learning classes, like attending classes, really diving into Spanish and relearning it. And because of other ways that I'm focusing my time right now, that feels a little less realistic until the wedding is over, but I still love it. And like I said, I'll still do Duolingo whenever I think of it. This just like is not gonna have specific action items for it. Try a dance studio. I did do that. I went to 2 dance studios. The last time I went to a dance studio was probably early April. Refocusing, reprioritizing lifting, and also whenever my car was broken and then I sold it, which kind of like made it harder for me to get to and from dance, like are factors that went into me kind of stopping. Not forever, like I hope I'll go back to a dance studio at some point, but I just like, it brought me joy while I was doing it. Right now, I am not prioritizing it in the same way that I was at the beginning of the year. Read 100 books. I am at 37 for the year, which is a lot, but that also is like, I think it's 21 behind schedule. So I don't know if we'll get to 100 books, but I don't want to like force myself to read books just for the goal. I do still like in the back of my head, I'm hoping that I hit 100 books, but I am 21 behind schedule right now. And then develop a cleaning routine. I do think that I've been better at this, and right now I am gonna have to redo that because we're in a new apartment, so I'm gonna have to have a new routine. I will say I feel very like motivated to do it. We'll just have to see how it goes, but having like a true Sunday, these are the things that I do. Honestly, someone who like when I grow up I want to be be Clara Purse and her cleaning routines that she does, that she's like known for and that she films. That's what I want to be like. I am not there, but that is what I want to be like. Health and wellness goals. Consistency in working out and in health and wellness was a goal this year. I will say, I mentioned in my April reset that I was really trying to get back in the gym. I wanted to start lifting more, and that I was hoping to maybe increase muscle, decrease body fat, kind of recomp the body a little bit to the extent that I could. I do think that is happening, and I feel a lot more comfortable in my body right now. I mean, it's only been some months, like it's not like some huge transformation has happened. I do feel a lot more comfortable in my body right now than I did in April. With stopping running, not really lifting, and doing dance as like a sole workout, except sometimes I would do cardio, my body was changing in ways that it had not before, that I was not really loving necessarily. And so I feel like by doing the workouts again, that just like make me feel like me, that I've been doing for years, that kind of thing, my body is reflecting that and it's feeling more like my body again. The number on the scale has not changed all that much. I think it's changed by like 5 pounds, which is not nothing, but also it's not like so super drastic. But I do think that I've been gaining muscle, so I feel like I'm body recomping a little bit, and I kind of hope to continue doing so, because that's a fun goal to have and a fun goal to see progress in and feel more comfortable like in my clothes and in everything again. Maintain skin improvements. I would not give myself an A+ on this just because I stopped. My last facial was in May, but I have one scheduled for next weekend. So June and July I took off, and my skin is just like pleading with me, please go get a facial. And especially with the wedding, I would like to, I don't know, I need my skin to be better. I would like it to be better. I'm wearing makeup right now, so you can't really tell, but I had a moment yesterday when I was like looking at my skin, and I was like, there are so many things that I do not feel nitpicky about on wedding day, getting married, but I was like, if my skin looks on that day as it does right now, like I think that would be something that would kind of make me sad. I would like for it to be back better to how it had been before I stopped getting facials. I also just like have acne prone skin, and so I'm just gonna have to accept that and be used to that, and it doesn't affect me like all that much, but it is a little thorn in the side. I had the goal of stop asking myself questions, and that was like questions in the sense of like, oh, do I feel like going to the gym today? And I was saying like, don't ask yourself that, just go. I do think I'm getting better at that, to where I don't like actively have to focus on that goal, because I am finding more joy in going, and I feel like progress is kind of like a positive feedback loop, where like once you start to notice progress, it makes you more motivated to keep going. So then you notice more progress, then you feel more motivated to keep going. So I don't feel like as struggly with that now as I did at the beginning of the year, which shows growth. Yay. Stretch consistently. No, I have not been doing that, and it's like quite literally causes me pain. Like it's the silliest thing that I don't stretch more, because I feel the benefits of it when I do. Like my shoulders hurt when I don't, my hips hurt when I don't. Like I'm built so tightly that I like actively need to stretch to live. It's like kind of dramatic, except I was like in PT and like getting exercises and stretches whenever I was a child, because I was like so tight that it would cause me pain. So why is it so like every single goal you've ever seen me make, I'll always say I need to get better at stretching, I need to get better at stretching, I need to stretch, and at some point like I literally just have to do it. So maybe that'll be soon. Financial goals, these are a little bit different. Well, my focuses I guess are a little bit different now that I am paying for a wedding, and also don't own a car and would like to again in the future. But my goals that I set at the beginning of this year: contribute a maximum amount to my Roth IRA. I did that at the beginning of the year, which is kind of a weight off my shoulders now whenever I have like big expenses that I'm paying right now, because I'm like, okay, at least I know I've invested in my future. So while everything is draining out of my account right now, I've invested in my future already. Get a raise. This did happen, and this has happened since our last reset. I was actually so thrilled with my raise. I was expecting like 3%, and it was more than that, because we got a combination of a merit raise and a market raise, like a market adjustment to make us more competitive, which I was not expecting, and like genuinely was so good this year. Like so good this year. So it ended up total being that I got about a 15% raise, which is insane. And like, oh my gosh, if that could happen every year, I feel like I'd be rolling in it. But that, I've only had 2 or 3 paychecks reflecting that so far, 3 I think, but I have appreciated each of the new paychecks as they have come. I will say this is about to be like a little more in-depth finances. So I did get that amount of raise, but I also upped 1% of what is going to my, essentially it's my 401k, except it's a 403b because my company is a nonprofit. So my 403b, I upped the percentage that I'm putting into that from each paycheck, and I also made it be a post-tax Roth deduction instead of a pre-tax non-Roth deduction. And so my actual take-home pay amount did not go up 15% because of those adjustments that I made, but it still like is up from what it was. And again, investing in my future. And then my last financial goal was invest alongside my high yield saving account. Right now I need my money to be liquid because I'm paying for a wedding, so I have not been adding more into my actual like brokerage account. I have not added into a brokerage account account since probably like 2021. It's just sitting there. I could be better about that. Could be like making money moves. I'm not really making money moves, but I do have like my savings in a high yield savings account. So that's a money move, but it's a different type of money move. Travel goals. This is exciting and it's very different than April when we did this reset. Visit a new state. I visited Ohio this year. I had never been to Ohio before. I went for Zach's brother's graduation. Crossed that off my list, been to Ohio. And also this upcoming month, I'm going to Michigan and I have never been to Michigan before, but my cousin is getting married there. And so I am going to Michigan and that is 2 new states this year. Thank you. We had the goal to take a fall weekend around October, do like fall leaves. This may still happen. It may be closer to maybe early November, maybe if it still happens. And it's going to depend on if Zach and I feel like it'll be more stressful or more actually fun. I loved our fall weekend that we took last year. It was so good. I was like, we are doing this every year till the year we die. But several factors going in. Our year has just gotten so busy. Like it's crazy thinking when I made this video last, there are so many things that have changed. The wedding, I've already mentioned that so much. I'm getting a nephew. He's being born in October, so I'm going there. So that's kind of something that plays into the maybe not doing a fall weekend in the end of October like I was going to, because I'll be there for a little bit. But then also alongside that, like the expenses of the wedding means like maybe we kind of are cutting back on like little random weekend trips for now, just until we get through the wedding so we can still have some money left over afterwards. So I don't know about the fall weekend, but we will see. We can make a fall weekend here maybe. It's like prioritize it. And then have plans for next international travel. And I worded it like that because I thought that I would not be going international this year. I did not think that there was any feasible way that that would happen or any reason for me to go international this year. And now I went to Spain for a week. So check, that's done. I did and I feel so thankful for that. But I really just like, I did not know that would have been a thing that was occurring. Social media goals, upgrade my filming setup. I got new tripods so far this year, which I mean have been good. Whenever I made this goal, I was thinking more like camera, lens, microphone type of deals, but that may just totally depend on finances and will probably be post-wedding if I'm still doing that. And like this works for me, so why would I change? Like it works and it's good quality, so why would I change it all that much? 15,000 subscribers on YouTube was my like loose subscriber goal because I do have control over putting out like good quality content, but I don't necessarily have control over like people subscribing. Sometimes you can get a lot of views and a little subscribers. Sometimes you can randomly get a lot of subscribers even for videos that aren't getting a lot of views. Sometimes you can put out really great content that you feel is really great content or like quality content, but that doesn't necessarily mean like new people are finding it. It can be really great content for the people already watching you. So there's like a lot of factors that go into that. So I more so make the numbers goals like that just as a like woohoo if it happens, and less of a this has got to happen, this needs to happen. But that being said, at current time, and we'll go a little deeper into the YouTube analytics whenever we get to that section, but at current time I have 10,090 subscribers, which if you notice, that's past 10,000. We hit 10,000. So like in the next 6 months, can we get 5,000 more? Maybe 5 months, I guess. Ooh, 1,000 a month is running high for what we typically do. 15,000 might still be kind of out there. I think I usually get like 300 to 400 a month, which does not quite bring us to 15,000 this year. It'll be okay no matter what. I love every single one of you that's here. I don't even need more people because you guys are enough. No new people, old people only. And then my little bingo card for the year, honestly, all of them are kind of moot points. Number 1, run Hilton Head half. I didn't do that. We talked about it months ago at length, did not do that. Move to the new hospital, that's coming whether or not I like it. I have no control over it. It's coming. It'll be a transition. Nothing I can do. And then the last one, graduate from laser hair removal. I have graduated Brazilian. I'm still going for my armpits. They canceled my most recent appointment and I have yet to reschedule a new one. I need to do that. I don't think I'll like be officially graduating this year because my hair is stubborn. So thinking about those 2024 goals and also some of the stuff that's like come up that didn't necessarily make it on those goals, but like is still important. Action items coming up into this next, we'll say month. I don't know if we'll do another monthly reset at the end of the month. I would love to. We'll see. Action items for the wedding, which is not in 2024 goals, but is something we're working on right now. In August, I wanted to book a caterer, get my dress, and book our welcome dinner venue, which I've done. We did those things. So now my focus is on invitations, getting wedding bands, and having a true plan for Zach's tux. That's kind of our August goal. I think I might need to add cake on there. We weren't gonna do a big cake. now I maybe will do a big cake whole thing. I'll figure it out in August. Health consistency, I'm going to try to continue that. I do feel great that I've been doing it pretty well. I feel really proud of myself, but I've been going back to Sydney Cummings videos. I love Sydney Cummings. I've loved Sydney Cummings for at least 4 years. Adore her workout videos. And even if I don't do each workout video whenever I'm in the gym, I'll at least like look at the exercises and do the exercises, do like 3 sets of 10 or something of all the exercises. So I definitely use her structure even if I'm not doing the actual video, but sometimes I do the actual video too. Action item, skin consistency, going to get a facial this month, planning on doing them monthly for at least another 6 months. Action item, stretch. Anna, stretch. Just do it. I will say my goal is to stretch 4 times this month. That is once a week. It is a goal I've made for myself before. That should be so easy. Why would I not do it? I don't know. Continue 2 uploads a week for YouTube. This has been fun. I will not be able to do 2 uploads a week for like indefinitely. That is a guarantee. I apologize for that. At some point, we're going to have to switch back to 1 upload a week. But for right now, we are still doing good with our 2 uploads a week. It will not be sustainable forever, but it is so fun while it can happen. I like did it kind of for the summer, I felt like, but we'll just keep it going until I can no longer keep it going. But for now, we'll be continuing 2 uploads per week. And then lastly, action item is to develop like an actual cleaning routine. Like I was saying, in this new apartment, I feel like I'm kind of starting from ground zero with this new apartment, but it still has not quite reached its like reset point from where I really feel like we can get back to that perfect clean point. Because still there are some things that have yet to be unpacked that I'm so tempted to just take the bags to the dumpster, because if I haven't needed them in a month, why would I need them ever? But I still have to go through the bag. My social security card's probably one of those bags. Like I can't just throw them away. Though I would love to. We'll go like a little bit through YouTube analytics, not too in depth though. I'll pull up views. Yeah, views from the past 90 days. If I'm gonna be so honest, views this summer have been really down. And part of that, I have heard that in the summer, views typically go down, which makes sense because like people are off doing their things. And also it just like hasn't happened to me before. I feel like usually I've been in a pretty consistent place of either growing or stagnating, but not usually like going down. And May was down, June was down, and July were down. All getting worse and worse down. And so it's weird because like that's kind of discouraging, but then in that time is also when I hit 10,000 subscribers. So it's like, so that's this great amazing thing that's so rewarding with YouTube, coupled with, but I'm like having a technically worse month than I have had in a very long time. So that's those analytics. Well, and it's kind of discouraging too, because like when I've been doing 2 times a week upload, my views have still been going down, which really means that each video is getting viewed so much less because it's 2 times the videos per week, but still in the month, my views are lower down than they were when I was just doing 1 video a week, which like doesn't quite make sense, but I'm just gonna hold on to the fact that that just happens in the summer. August will be better. I don't know, because I've been trying to like up my thumbnails and like keep the video qualities good, and like, I don't know. The YouTube analytics have been a little bit discouraging. I'm not gonna lie. It's not gonna change what I do. It just like, I still love doing this regardless. And I've done it with 10 people watching. And if there are only 10 people watching again, I will still do it. But it is just discouraging when you put in more work and it like you get less. But that being said, in the past 3 months, my top viewed videos have been the half marathon video. It's been #1 for a while now. It's my most viewed video ever. It went over 100,000 views now, which is wild. That is very crazy. And then we have the What I Wish I Knew Before Becoming a Social Worker, 2nd edition. That's pretty common as well. Social Work Careers, Work Week at a Children's Hospital, that was posted in March. And then the Ecological Systems Theory video that I cannot shake. So all of those are like old videos that are getting searched for. My old videos tend to do better than my new videos. Which is something that I hope to continue to be able to put in work in a way that can actually improve that for me. For us. Moving a little bit into books, because we do that in these monthly reset videos. I have not been reading that much. Like I said, I'm 21 books behind for the year. I've just been busy, and that's not been where my brain has been prioritizing, and so not as many have been getting read. But in May, I read 2 books. I read Funny Story by Emily Henry, which I gave a 3 stars, and I read The Institute by Stephen King, which I gave a 4 stars. Very different books, both popular in their own sense. Funny Story, I just didn't click. I didn't click with it as much as I have Emily Henry's other books. Book Lovers is still my top dog, and then I believe Happy Place, and then Beach Read, and then Funny Story, and then People We Met on Vacation, maybe. I think those are kind of my rankings. The Institute by Stephen King. Stephen King is just a wild writer. His brain and his stories, they're wild. In June, I read 6 books. Some of them I listened to. I listened to How to Walk Away. I gave it 2 stars. It was quite cheesy, and it also involved a hospital staff member getting into a relationship with his patient, losing his license for engaging in physical displays of affection at the hospital where he is employed with his patient, but then don't worry because their love can overcome that. the book was entertaining. there were things I could not overlook. Don't Let Her Stay, I listened to, I gave 3.25 stars. I barely remember it. It's like an English thriller involving a daughter who maybe isn't who she says she is, and a dad who maybe isn't who he says he is. It was fine. The Quiet Tenant, I gave 4 stars. That one is the story of a serial killer told from the perspective of the women in his life. That one, that was interesting. That one was a mind messer upper a little bit. The Winners by Frederick Bachman, I gave 4 stars, which is the lowest that I've given that trilogy because Beartown was 5, Us Against You was 5. The Winners was very long, and I never thought that I would feel that a book in that trilogy would be too long because I usually just soak them up, but The Winners could have been shorter. I got a little bit bored, but I still loved our people for the most part, and I still love like the universe and the story world that they're in, but it wasn't a 5. I mean, 4 star is good, but it just wasn't as standout of a 5 star as Beartown and Us Against You were. The Frozen River, I gave 4.5 stars. It is a historical fiction. I read it while on the beach in Spain, which was very mismatched vibes. I don't know how to describe the plot, to be honest with you, but it was 4.5 stars, so it was good. I enjoyed it, if you like historical fiction. And then Just for the Summer by a.bea.s, I also gave 4.5 stars. This was like the rom-com of the summer for me, where Funny Story lay flat, Just for the Summer rose up. It was goofy, it was cute, it was like not too deep, but just deep enough. It was funny, I really enjoyed it. In July, I read one single book, except I didn't even read it, I actually listened to it. It was Out on a Limb. I don't know who the author is. It was just a cheesy romance, but like feel good, so no big complaint. Enjoyed it. Heading into August, which it's funny saying that because like this is definitely gonna come up like in the middle of August, if not late August. So you're probably gonna be watching this and be like, Anna, no one else is doing a monthly reset right now. What are you doing? Just know that things are a little delayed right now between when I'm filming and when I'm uploading because I'm really working on getting the content out and doing 2 uploads a week while being full time. You gotta plan in advance, which then just makes my monthly resets be thrown off their schedule. I don't know what August will bring. I don't know what the rest of the year will bring. It is helpful for me to have the action items moving forward just to give me like in the back of my mind some goals to work towards, some things to prioritize. I haven't even like sat down and reflected all that much recently. So I'm glad that we had this moment to do that together today. And we will have this moment again, whether it is in 1 month or whether it is in 3 months or whether it is next year, 6 months. We will have this again. Thank you for monthly resetting with me. Thanks for choosing to be here. I adore you. I love you so much. I'm so appreciative of you. And that comes from the bottom of my heart. I feel like I've been kind of in a silly, goofy mood through this video, but like deep from the serious bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. And I'm so glad you're here. And I'll see you next time.